If you're a law student or even a college student considering going to law school, you may have asked yourself, should I try mock trial? Maybe your school puts on an intra-school competition, or you're thinking about joining one of the national teams that competes in the AMPTA competition or the TILA competition in law school. Regardless of the case or the format, in this video, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you should definitely consider doing mock trial right now. What's up, everybody? My name is Erik. I'm an attorney and a speaker, and this is Law Venture. And hang on, your screen is not broken. Obviously, I'm not Jarrett, unless I am Jarrett and I'm just growing out my hair because I'm going through an emo phase. You may actually recognize me from one of Jarrett's recent videos that he released, where he interviewed me mostly about my mock trial experience and actual trial experience. And I'm super pumped that Jarrett has asked me to join forces with him in Law Venture to release a whole series of videos on trial advocacy, sort of like the lawyer version of Captain Planet, if you're old enough to remember that show.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
Hey, if this is your first time checking out Law Venture, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there somewhere. Not only are you going to have access to all of Law Venture's content, but you're going to be notified when Jarrett and I release new videos. One of the reasons Jarrett asked me to do some videos with Law Venture is because I have extensive experience as a trial attorney. I've been a prosecutor almost my entire career, and because of that, I've had the opportunity to try hundreds of cases to both judges and juries. And there's no doubt in my mind that I would never have had the confidence in the successful track record that I do had it not been for my experiences in mock trial, which leads me to reason number 1 why you should join mock trial. Mock trial teaches you how to be a good public speaker. Law school does very little to prepare you for the actual practice of law. Regardless of what kind of law you want to practice, at some point in your career, you're going to find yourself in a courtroom in front of a judge or in front of clients or some other venue where you have to convey a message. Mock trial teaches you how to be a good public speaker. For most college and law school mock trial teams that compete at the national level in tournaments like AMPTA or the Texas Young Lawyers Association competition, you're going to have the opportunity to work with experienced trial attorneys and even actors, where you're going to learn the skills that you need to be a successful speaker. Listen, I came to college as the shy kid in high school that couldn't look you in the eye without having a panic attack and having a conversation. Mock trial taught me the confidence that I needed to be a successful speaker. So much so that at this point in my career, public speaking has become my passion. Number 2, mock trial prepares you for law school. If you're already in law school, it gives you an edge. If you're a college student thinking about going to law school, mock trial is going to give you a huge advantage over your classmates who didn't take mock trial in college. And if you're already in law school, mock trial gives you an edge in a lot of your classes. In mock trial, you learn the rules of evidence, foundation, basic criminal procedure, civil procedure, even constitutional law. For example, evidence is a really tough class in law school because evidence is very difficult to teach on a PowerPoint. The rules of evidence only make sense when you practice them in real time. In mock trial, you're going to have to stand up and object. You're going to have to respond to objections. You're going to have to lay foundation for exhibits. And when you do that in real time, you truly understand how the rules of evidence work. Number 3. Mock trial prepares you for the actual practice of law. Law school does a great job of simulating that stressful environment of what it's like to practice law, and it teaches you how to read a case, interpret case law, and think like a lawyer. But it actually does very little to prepare you for the actual practice of law in a courtroom. That's where mock trial comes in. Mock trial not only teaches you the technical aspects of how to address a judge, present your case in court by doing an opening statement, direct examination, cross-examination, etc., but more importantly, mock trial teaches you the big picture, how to tell a story in the courtroom. After graduating law school, I began my career as an assistant district attorney at a busy prosecutor's office. Immediately, I was able to jump in and do trials at a very high level. Within my first year, I was able to try a first-degree murder case to a jury. And within a very short period of time, I was able to work my way up the ladder, and within 6 years, I became Chief Deputy District Attorney, running an entire office. And there's no doubt in my mind that none of this would have been possible had it not been for my experiences in mock trial. I also want to give an honorable mention to the fact that mock trial allows you to be part of a team. No different than if you were to compete on a college basketball or football team. You develop bonds and lifetime friends from those people that you compete with. I still have very good friends that I competed in mock trial with 15 years ago, even to the point where I got to do an actual jury trial in real court with one of my old teammates from mock trial. I hope this video has provided some value and some insight for you. Or maybe you're just glad you're seeing someone other than Jarrett on here for once. Whatever the case may be sure to hit that subscribe button. So to wrap this thing up and put a bow on it, if you're a college student and you're thinking about going to law school, or you're a law student and you want to better prepare yourself for the actual practice of law, I highly recommend mock trial. See you next time.
What's your story?
Yeah, it's a good question because I think every lawyer probably at some point, some probably, I knew guys in law school that just went because they didn't know what to do, and they eventually developed a passion for it. So I know every lawyer's got that moment where it's like, yeah, this is what I want to do. For me, it goes back to college. I see this table and it says mock trial team. And I'm like, I'm kind of thinking about going to law school. So I go have a conversation and thinking it was like a club. It's not a club. It's the Western Michigan University mock trial team, just like their sports teams. And they were giving away information, and they told me they had tryouts for walk-ons because they recruited people that were doing well that the professors would notice. And I'm this new guy. So I'm like, what the hell? I'm going to try out as a walk-on. And I come in, and in college mock trial, you got to play a witness as well as do the attorney role. So I come in there and they give you a script, and I just it was like an 80-year-old proctologist. So I go to the Halloween store. It's like an acting store actually in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I get like a wig and I get like makeup and everything. And I come in there and I basically play the role that Will Ferrell played as Harry Carey, just like shaking and stuff. And I could see like the old professor who runs it, he's laughing. And sure enough, I made the team as a walk-on. And it took me about a year and a half kind of watching the seniors compete. And it was intense. Like, I still think back to some of our competitions at like regionals and nationals, and that was every bit as in-depth as any trial I've ever did, the real thing. But I remember about my second year in mock trial when I started to get into the attorney role and getting into the groove. I just had this moment where like, this is it. This is what I want to do.